and welcome to Northgate High School for the Battle of the Creek. It's water polo tonight. I'm Anthony Schultz along with Mark Katz. The starting sprint here is coming up in just a bit. We'll get this underway. We'll have the girls game first. And Mark, first time that you've been able to join me here on air, and the first time we've done water polo. There's the starting sprint right there. Tell us a little bit about your background.
I graduated from Lomas in 2017. I was on both men's water polo and swim teams, and captain of both my senior year. And I currently go to the University of Washington, where I'm studying biology.
Well, thank you very much, and thanks for being here. And the first shot off the post, and we are underway here. Now we're going to have a penalty, and that looked really like a foul to me.
Yeah, so in water polo, there's a few different types of fouls. That's just a common foul. When the ref blows the whistle one time, lifts his arm up to direct which team has the ball, that's a common foul, and it's a free pass for the team on offense.
Thank you for the information, Mark. Here's a shot from way downtown, and that one's off the left post. And now the ladies will swim back the other way. And here comes Los Lomas, the Knights in the white caps, and the Northgate Broncos in the black caps. And now we're going to have another whistle blown, and I'm hearing an offside call. Is that what I heard? Offside?
No.
Somebody said offside. There's some didn't think there was offside.
No, the only rule regarding that is the red cone signifies the 2-meter line, and you are not allowed to enter inside that red cone unless you have the ball. So the ball becomes as soon as
the crease in the cross.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Well, here's Northgate now on the attack, and that was Leto, one of the captains who had it but lost it. Another whistle and a turnover here will go the other way.
So that double whistle signifies a contra foul, just like that right there. And a contra foul is basically just a turnover. And so the one before was for a ball under.
But I understand you can also go power play, man up, man down.
Yeah, so that's a kick out. It's kind of like hockey with the 20-second power play.
There's a shot and a goal. And it looked like number 11, Stahl. So the first goal here at 5:24, and Northgate on the board first. Here's Los Lomas trying to counter. Los Lomas winners in their first 2 matches. And this is the opening match for Northgate to start the season. And that's Caitlin O'Connor, number 9, with it in the corner, gives it away. Now they're trying to go into the middle, and this one going to be taken away without a shot being fired. And I think that's one of the tactics here is to try to funnel the ball into the middle.
Yeah, kind of the same thing as basketball. The center is one of the most important positions in water polo. A lot of goals and a lot of ejections come out of the middle. And so most teams' offensive strategy is always to get that ball in the middle.
And here's one knocked away, and Northgate not able to get his shot off. The ladies change ends. Here is a pass, and that one it's like number 25, and I do not have a 25 on my Los Lomas roster.
And so that right there is an ejection. It appeared that number 2 was grabbing number 11.
Did they wave that off?
No.
Oh, it's going to be a Knights goal here to tie it at 1 apiece. So here comes Los Lomas. Geckler, one of the captains. And the pass a little bit too long. Ladies will swim over there, and Bonanno will retrieve it. Now back out to Stahl. Trying to get in that in the middle, but pretty well covered that time. Another important aspect, I guess, is the spacing. You don't want too many people in front of the goal, right?
Yeah, having too many people just allows the defense doesn't allow the offense to have a lot of space. Kind of like in basketball, if you put 4 people in the key, it's impossible to drive to the basket.
Well, here's a going the other way now. And Portia Sasser, number 11, lining this one up, fires it off the post. Boy, Portia all by herself there, unable to get that one to go as it was off that left post and back the other way. comes Northgate. A 1-1 tie here, 3:27 to go in the first. Anthony Schultz and Mark Katz here on Walnut Creek TV.
So right there, the ref called a contra foul. It appeared that the Northgate player kicked one of the Los Lomas players.
Well, he could see that?
So that's one of the trickiest things about this sport is a lot of what happens underwater isn't really noticed. So it's kind of anyone's game underwater until the ref makes a call.
Boy, here's a well-contested shot right there. It looked like Vecchio was trying to get a shot off, but she was sort of bookended by two Los Lomas defenders. Here comes Leto, and she gives it up. This is going to be a turnover, and this will go right back to the goalkeeper. All right, Vecchio going one-on-one and trying to use a little backstroke to get free. Now we'll dump the ball off top and see if Northgate can get it in the middle. They try. Pass a little bit too long and taken away. And Los Lomas calls timeout. 2:35 to go and a 1-1 tie here from Northgate High School. Mark was telling me earlier that this pool area, very new, just up to 3 years old by now?
Yeah, not yet. I think like 2.5 about, yeah.
When I first stepped into it, I'm like thinking, yeah, this looks pretty new. Nice facility here. Northgate talks it over on the side of the pool, and for Los Lomas, Coach Sevilla in his third season. Last year they got to the semifinals. They lost to College Park. And the goal this year, they tell me, is to be in the top 8. And Coach Sevilla would love a top 6 in the NCS. And in Coach Sevilla's first year, they got to the 6th seed in the NCS. And back in the days, they had Ava Johnson, who was one of the top recruits in the country, now playing for UCLA. And one thing I found out in talking to the coaches earlier in the week was these club players for water polo very well traveled.
Yeah, a lot. Personally, I played from all the way down in San Diego to we took a trip to Spain before my senior year with my club, and so it's a pretty universal, it's a pretty world played sport. So it's pretty easy to travel and just experience water polo, not just in the United States.
Sasser over to Lynch, and now for Granskog. And
so that's an inside the 2 call, so that means the ball wasn't inside the red cone, but there was an offender inside the 2 meters, so it's an automatic turnover.
Here's Northgate trying to break this tie. Trying to dump it in the middle, and looks like Los Lomas has that pretty well covered. All right, here's Los Lomas getting back on the offensive end.
Ooh.
Pass a little bit too far. And they'll battle for it right there, and it's going to go the way of the Broncos. Northgate trying to get goal number 2. There's a shot just wide left.
Good job. Good try.
Good looking try right there. Unable to get that one to go. I'm just watching this sport here, Mark. You can tell this is not one of the sports that you can get away with without being in really good shape.
Yeah, no, it is pretty grueling. Some of the training, you swim thousands of yards. And so there's another ejection right there, a power play. There we but yeah, no, you swim thousands of yards. Throughout high school, you go to the weight room. Even a lot of running is involved to train for this, but it's a pretty grueling and demanding sport for sure.
Los Lomas able to get the second goal here after the whistle had blown. and then they just kind of continue play, it looked like right there.
Yeah,
I thought they were going to stop the action.
So after any ejection, it is a free throw for whoever drew it, and then you play right away. So there's no stoppage of play. The game continues, and the person who's kicked out swims to one of the 2 red corners over there by the bench, and you serve a 20-second power play.
Okay.
There's 1 vote while we 1 minute votes while we reset the clock.
And they got to have a clock reset here. But in any event, 2-1 Knights if they have taken the lead here in the first period. Doubleheader action coming to you here from Walnut Creek TV. We'll have the boys game immediately following the girls contest. And here comes Northgate trying to tie things up. Now to 40 seconds here. The shot clock reading 22. So far the shot clock hasn't really come into play, but always nice to have that to make sure people just aren't holding on to the ball. And it must be so difficult just to keep yourself afloat in this pool at 7 feet. And not too many girls, I'm sure, over 6 feet, so that's a pretty difficult task just to stay above the water.
Yeah, it takes a lot of so that's another contra foul, and they call them a push off. So you're allowed to get physical to get position for the ball, but you're not allowed to push off the defender. So that's why they call the contra foul.
And that will do it for the first quarter, 2-1 in favor of the Knights. So the Knights lead it by 1 at the end of 1. And Mark, what did you see there in that first period?
There were one of the biggest things. There was a lot of turnovers to both teams, both with the ball and off the ball. So that's definitely something the coaches will be talking about to both the teams, is limiting the turnovers. Because only thing that makes this game harder is if it turns into a swim meet where you just swim back and forth the entire time. So scoring goals gives you breaks, and drawing ejections gives you a little bit of a break. But no one wants to see this turn into a swim meet at all.
No, this is water polo, not a swim meet. There we go. So a nice start here for Las Lomas to begin the season. They were an 18-7 winner against Washington. They beat College Park 14-4. And they'll be at TAM September the 11th and at Miramonte September the 25th. And the DFL, a pretty tough competition. Acalanes, Las Lomas, Campolindo, and Miramonte. And I'm told that Miramonte and Campolindo, one of the perpetually good.
Yeah, absolutely. Both the boys and girls programs are very, very good, and they have been for a very long time. I believe like Miramonte's won about at least 3 out of every 4 years. They'll win an NCS championship, especially on the boys' side. I think the past, I would say 7 years, there hasn't been either Miramonte or Campo not in the NCS championship game. So they are pretty dominant.
So we're just about ready for the starting sprint here for quarter number 2, a 2-1 lead here for the Knights on Walnut Creek TV. A very hot day here in Walnut Creek, and as I check the temperature upon arrival, 95 degrees, and I should have wore a hat. That sun is relentless. For some reason, I got the feeling the pool's indoors, right? No, it's not.
Not in California.
Here's Las Lomas, and they have the opening possession here of the second quarter. Portia Sasser, number 11. And she continues to back up, looking for a shot, trying to find someone to pass to. And now she has that free shot, and that one's over the crossbar. And Northgate will get their first possession of the second quarter. Here's Stahl being defended. Gets it off to a teammate, McNulty. And now whistle will change ends again.
Offensive foul, turnover to Las Lomas.
It's Lomas back on offense, trying to dump it off here on the right side. And Katie Wilson looking to get it to a teammate, and does. There's the shot, and count it. Portia Sasser right in front of the goal with just one defender near her, and that makes it 3-1 Knights.
Yeah, that's a textbook. Put the ball down to your deep wings and work the center. And that's just like textbook fundamental water polo.
Here's Northgate now, trailing by 2 after having a 1-0 lead. But you'd figure that most of the scores, I'm told, kind of like high baseball scores, a lot of 9 goals, 8 goal type games.
I would say it's super similar to how lacrosse is kind of scored.
Oh, wow, there's a shot, there's a save. Nicely done there. Point blank range, but denied. As Northgate denied goal number 2, and they still trail 3-1. You were saying? Yeah,
I'd say it's super similar to lacrosse. You can have games that the winning team will score 6 goals, a game that's like 6-4, or you can have a game that goes all the way up to like 19 to 15. Most of the time, it's in like that 7 through 13 range. A good hard fought game could end up being 13-10.
So down 3-1, no time to panic.
Absolutely not. No, you can score because of the shot clock. You can score 2 goals in less than a minute.
So there's a nice denial there by the Los Lomas defense as the ladies change ends one more time. 5:11 and counting here, second period here in the opener of our doubleheader. Nice defense there, ball knocked away, and now a whistle. And they're going to say Los Lomas is going to keep it. Another thing I'm noticing too, Mark, is that the kind of like soccer, the goalie's got to kind of know when to stay in the goal and when to come out and get the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times the goalie, you don't want the goalie to come out too far. Then you're just susceptible to getting scored on with the lob. But coming in too close, you don't give yourself as good of an opportunity to block the ball, especially if it skips off the water. That shoots up real quick, so if you're away from that goal, you can eat it up. If not, it just shoots up straight up over you. Usually it's a goal. So they have to move up and down, always be aware of exactly where they are.
Here's one thrown out to the right side into the corner. Northgate trying to move it around. Looking for that shot, almost a clean catch in midair there. That pass a little bit too far as we come here to the near side. There's a shot off the right post. And boy, on both sides right now, Mark, the post's getting a workout.
Absolutely. And I always have a post, it's a goalie's best friend. Sometimes you have games where you'll hit the post 15 times and it just doesn't go in. Yeah.
So here are the Knights, another whistle. That was Meredith Holm with the ball right there. And Meredith, 4 goals in that opener. One of those ladies that does it all. There's a shot clock, and there is a goal. Goal number 4 for Los Lomas. Well, you look down just for a moment, and there's a shot and a goal, and all of a sudden now the Knights a 3-goal lead here in the second period. Meredith, talking about her, one of the players that does it all, plays set defense, is the whole set, very quick swimmer, and a 4-year varsity player. Northgate trying to cut into that 3-goal disadvantage they've got right now. Had a chance to look at some Olympic water polo from a couple of years ago, and I was noticing as another whistle blown, I was noticing that one of the guys was Croatia and Serbia, and the catching in midair, I mean, it's like those guys had Velcro on their hands.
Absolutely. That's definitely one of the hardest parts, is just learning how to catch. You can only use one hand. Using the ball, touching the ball with 2 hands is an automatic turnover, so spend hours and hours in the pool just passing with your teammates and getting it, because the best way in water polo is, especially on the 6-on-5, you put the ball in the air and you move it quickly, the defense gets very, very lost.
There's a shot and a score off that right post and in.
Yeah, keeping that ball in the air is what all coaches always stress. As soon as the ball hits the water, it just allows the defense to relax for a little second. So you always want to keep the ball in the air, move it quickly. That way some hole will open up in the D.
Vecchio from outside able to knock that one in. And the score now 4-2. So a lot of action packed into these first quarter and a half, about to 2:47 here in the second quarter. And then over the back, I think, is going to be the call there.
That's another ejection. You're allowed to be physical on defense, but you can't physically hold anyone back from catching the ball or throwing the ball.
Oh, boy. You hear that? That was loud off that left post that time. But some pretty good velocity on that shot there, but unfortunately for Los Lomas, it got the post. Here come the Broncos back the other way. Pretty good crowd here today. There's a long shot. The shot clock was winding down, and that kind of looked like one of those half-court heaves.
Absolutely, yeah. And every once in a while those do happen to go in. You might get a lucky hit off the bar, and goals like that can completely change a game.
Boy, battling for the ball over here. A whistle blows. Renee Fleming, number 9 of Los Lomas, involved in that fracas. Now they're going to change ends again.
Turnover to Northgate.
Yeah, so that the ref, the ball has to be, the free throw has to be at the spot of the foul. So the foul has occurred on the 2, so you got to get the ball back to your goalie, and the goalie has their free throw.
Northgate.
There's another contra foul. You're allowed to, there's an ejection.
There's almost as much blowing of the whistle
Absolutely.
as there is splashing right now. There's one down in the middle, but it's going to go right to Northgate. Taken away by Henderson. And now it looks like Northgate's going to go to the bench here. Trying to get a fresh swimmer into the ball game. Last 54 seconds here of the second period. Quick moving and action-packed first half here for the girls' game. Down low, looking for that shot. Taken away, and the shot clock sounds, and that'll be a turnover. Quickly up ahead here. Dumped in. And there's Cruiser with nobody around. And there's the shot, and that's going to score. Nice ball movement. Good shot. 5-2 in favor of the Knights. And that looked like a fast break all the way.
Oh, absolutely. That's another just like textbook example of a counterattack. Spread out wide. Get the ball down. Defenders come over. Someone has to be open.
So 5-2 in favor of the Knights as they lead the Broncos here. 26 seconds to go here in this opening half. Anthony Schultz along with Mark Katz, and we'll have the boys' game immediately following this one. You're watching Walnut Creek TV. So Renee Fleming, another one of the ladies, junior captain for Los Lomas. She also had 4 goals in that first game. She's one of the tallest players in the NCS. 3rd year on the varsity. As the coaches and the players talking it over here as we get set to play the last 26 seconds of this first half. And of course, looking ahead to the boys' game, the Northgate Broncos, well, let's just say Los Lomas has a little ownage on them going all the way back to 2007 since the last time the Broncos beat the Knights in water polo. We'll talk more about that as we go along. And I understand that they play at least once every year, but sometimes more than once.
I personally only played them once a year. Back when I was playing, they were in a different division than us. So we'd schedule, but we'd never play them like in league. Now, I believe that after they reshuffled all the divisions, I think they are in the same division or the same league, so they might play more than once. But for us, it was once a year. The opener every year was the Battle of the Creek.
I talked to Coach Mann. He was just the boys varsity coach, and he said, well, this is one of those ones that we usually chalk up to a victory.
Absolutely.
Inside, there's that left-handed throw off the crossbar. They rush for the ball, and Las Lomas comes up with it. Last 8 seconds. Knight's going to try to push this one up the pool in a hurry. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Here's the shot, and that one will be saved by the goalkeeper, and that will do it for the first half of play. Knights 5, Broncos 2. A action-packed first half there, and Mark, what do you think of that first half?
I mean, I thought it was a good first half. Definitely both teams have a lot that they can work on and be a little bit better. If I was Coach Ryan Seville right now, I'd be on Las Lomas for all the number of turnovers they had. A lot of them they had great opportunities. They were a man-up situation, and they'd throw the ball away, throw the ball into a double team in the middle. A lot of turnovers. If I was the Northgate head coach, I would tell my team about spacing. A lot of them are super close in the middle right now. You have 6 defenders all within 3 strokes of anyone. And when you clog the middle and everyone's bunched together, it's super easy to guard. It's super easy to defend. Spreading out allows for a lot of space. You can work the ball into the middle. You can drive through. Just opens up the door for a lot of opportunities. But crowding, it's super easy to defend and fuels the counterattack the other way.
Yeah, that last goal for the Knights on that fast break was particularly good, as they were able to throw the ball up the court. It really did look like a fast break, and then some nice ball movement to get it down to the corner for the goal.
And that's exactly what you want. If off of a turnover, you always want there to be a fast counter coming out. You never want to just sit and watch. You get the ball back to the goalie. As soon as you hear that whistle, as soon as you see the ball be turned over, it's head down, you cut your defender off, and you go to the other side. So having a good counter like that can really change the course of the game.
An action-packed first half, 5-2 in favor of the Knights. We'll be back with the second half action right here on Walnut Creek TV. Stay tuned. All right, second half action as we enter the third period here on Walnut Creek TV. A 5-2 lead here for the Knights. Broncos will start off with the ball, and here's a near steal. And now we're going to have a whistle here, quickly stopping action. Northgate's going to keep it. Dump the ball down here into the corner. Trying to get it over the middle. They were talking about trying to make that initial catch so you can get rid of the ball as quickly as possible. Here are the Broncos as the shot clock is going down. So no shot attempt there for Northgate, and Las Lomas with their first possession of the third quarter. Even with all the whistles, the game's moving along very quickly. There's a shot and there's a save. Nicely done. Boy, that was at point blank range that time. Now another whistle here.
Come on, Beth.
Northgate down into the corner. Nobody defending Bonanno here. She creeps in. Now they come out to defend her, but she's pretty far from the goal. Like no defender on her there at all.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times you want to get beaten from, if you have to get beat from anywhere, you choose a spot to get beat from. Being a right-hander down on that left-hander side, you have a really bad angle for that shot. So a lot of times you leave a defender there, let the goalie take care of that, drop back in the middle so the ball can't go.
There's a shot and score. So another goal here for the Knights. They lead it 6-2, and that is the first one of the second half here. Coming in just a couple of minutes into the period, and the Knights extend to their biggest lead of the match so far at a 4-goal lead. It's 6-2. You get that one at the 5:27 mark, and here's Northgate now with some work to do. Henderson dumping it in, and McNulty will go get it. Looking for somebody to go into the middle, and they're trying to post each other up right there. And there's a ball knocked away, but a whistle.
Yeah, so that's an exclusion on number 9 right there. The ref called a common foul in the middle, and she interfered with the free throw. I don't think she realized it was a foul, and so if you interfere with the free throw, it's an automatic ejection.
So an extra swimmer here for the Broncos. Let's see if they can take advantage. Moving it around and lost that one. And now we have the referees over at the scorer's table talking it over here. 4:56 to go here in the third. The Knights have tallied once here in the third. They lead it 6-2. And not exactly sure what that was all about. Is there something with the scoreboard? Or?
Yeah, so it was the shot clock. I think they accidentally reset it one more time. So on ejection, they reset the shot clock, give the offensive team 30 new seconds. I think they accidentally reset it again.
There's some complaining to the official. The Broncos were hoping for a whistle there, none forthcoming. And Los Lomas is going to get it back, trying to add to a 4-goal lead. Now that reminded me a lot of basketball right there. The complaining to the official.
Yeah.
Begging for a foul call.
Absolutely. Most of the time, especially in water polo, refs hate that more than anything. Some refs are really quick on the whistle, so if you... There's another ejection drawn. If you even so look at the ref the wrong way, he'll just toss you from the game.
Boy, and there is a shot and a score for Los Lomas. Portia Sasser, number 11, putting that one in, and all of a sudden now this lead is ballooned to 5.
Yeah, and one of the best things about water polo is if you have anything with the ref, you can just put your head underwater, say whatever you want, and no one knows what you're saying.
Can't read the bubbles.
Absolutely.
All right, Broncos on the attack. This one coming down into the corner. Now into the middle, wide open there, and there's the shot and a beautiful save at point-blank range. Oh, nicely done. Well, Lazinski getting that save for Los Lomas. Cassie Halazinski in goal for the Broncos, doing a great job right there. And now another whistle, and here the Knights moving it around. Shot clock counting down. And there's the shot and count it. Boy, that was from some distance as well, and it's 8-2. Portia Sasser gets her second goal for Los Lomas here in the quarter. Third goal of the quarter for the Knights. And the lead continuing to balloon here. Still a long way to go, but if you're the Broncos right now, you kind of got to feel you need some goals in a couple of minutes.
Like I said, I always say this sport is super similar to basketball. It's a game of runs. One team goes on a run, another team comes back. But once you start opening up a lead like this, it's pretty easy to just fold. So the biggest thing for Northgate right now is they can't fold. They still need to play their game. Right. And the biggest thing for Los Lomas is a few more goals, and they kind of put this thing away.
Well, in the meantime, Halazinski came up with another great save. Down into the middle for the Broncos. There's the shot, and there's a score. So Geckler, one of the captains, gets the assist from McNulty. And just like that, the Broncos tally, make it 8-3. 3:06 to go here in the third. And all of a sudden, the Knights lead down to 5. Seems like a good lead, but like my partner, Mr. Katz, just said, maybe the run for the Broncos just about to start. Let's see. Down to the inside. Boy,
another
against Los Lomas.
Yeah, that's another contra foul. The defender played good defense, push that ball underwater. If you have possession of it and any defender puts it underwater, there's another one right there. It's an automatic turnover.
Well, the refs are not shy.
Absolutely not.
Timeout, Los Lomas.
And Los Lomas calls timeout. 2:38 to go here in the third. Knights lead it 8-3. So a nice flow for this game right now here, Mark, especially for Los Lomas, but nice to see the Broncos tally that third one and creep a little bit closer.
Yeah, definitely puts Los Lomas back on edge. They have a comfortable lead right now, but that lead can go away. By the end of this quarter, it could be a one-goal game, and then that's a completely new ball game. So it's important for them to just play their style, focus really good on D, look up to counter, and kind of grow this lead into the fourth so that they can have that little bit of breathing room.
So things just getting underway here for the 2019 water polo season. We did tell you that Los Lomas with a pair of wins, and this is the opening game here for the Broncos, and the Broncos will be swinging against Heritage on September the 11th, and then they'll get Concord on the 25th, and that will be their first league game. The DVL, College Park and Clayton Valley Charter, they have each played a couple of games. Concord's played one. Alhambra, Benicia, Northgate, and YV just getting underway. All right, now after that timeout, we will resume play. Now they're counting heads here to make sure we got 6 on 6.
Oh, yep, looks like Northgate had an extra player in the game. Quick ejection right there.
Boy, that didn't take long.
A lot of times if you get beat, a defender will get a little grabby, just lazy defense, and those are easy ejections.
Boy,
I don't know what that one was. But 6 on 4s, 6 on 4 happens every few games. You don't usually see a 6 on 4 that often. There's not really much way you can defend it. It's just hope they don't score.
Try to clog the goal area.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do. Here's the shot, and that was going to be tapped in. Boy, it looked like it bounced off one of the Northgate players and caromed into the goal.
Yeah. One of the worst times to play defense is if a goalie gets ejected. And then you just put 2 people in the cage. Again, you can only put one arm up. Putting 2 arms up is an automatic penalty shot.
Wow.
So you just put your arms in the cage and hope they hit your arm.
Well, 2 minutes to go here in the third, winding down here in the third period. 9-3 now in favor of the Broncos. In favor of the Knights, rather. Broncos got that third goal, but Los Lomas able to match as they were up 2 girls in that last one. Here's a shot that won't go in. And here comes Northgate back the other way. And the Broncos back to full strength. There's the shot off the post and score. So whether the Broncos have 4 swimmers or 6, Portia Sasser able to knock that one in. That's at least 3 goals for her already. She's having herself a fine afternoon, and now it's 10-3. Boys getting warmed up on the other side. That'll be the nightcap for us here on Walnut Creek TV. Boys game following the girls game. Portia Saffer, junior captain. Ball's loose in front, and now we have another whistle. Portia, one of the smaller players, strong, smart, and then another whistle. And Los Lomas is going to get this one back. She communicates well, is always in the right place at the right time, and a good arm, probably the best shooter on the team. And Portia putting up the goals here in this game, also had 5 in the opener.
Northgate exclusion to 12.
I'm trying to say somebody's got to get out of the pool, I think.
No, so that's just the same rule that was there before. You get the ball at the spot of the foul. So the ref was trying to indicate to her that she had to scoot back a little bit for the free throw. Sometimes refs aren't very clear in what they want.
Well, there's one put in, but I think we had a whistle before
Yeah,
that.
it's still inside the 2 right there.
Here are the Broncos, last 35 seconds of this third period. And now we have a penalty here.
Offensive foul, turnover to Los Lomas.
Los Lomas gets it back. Here's Katie Wilson swimming ahead of the pack here. And now it puts this one, and it's going to be knocked away. Another penalty going back the other way. Northgate gets it back. Northgate down by 7. Still more than a quarter to go here, and now we have another whistle. Broncos looking for goal number 4, counting down the shot clock here. There's the shot. That won't go. Nice save again by Halazinski. And that'll do it for the third period. So at the end of 3, the Knights lead it 10-3 over the Broncos. We'll be back on Walnut Creek TV in just a moment. The starting sprint as we begin the fourth quarter, and it's been all night so far. They lead it 10-3. Broncos get the first possession of this fourth quarter, and they're going to need to go on a run here, Mark.
Definitely, and that's the perfect way to start it. Joining exclusion 10 seconds in, see if they get a quick goal,
and there it is.
So that's a dream start for Northgate in this quarter.
Just with the doctor order.
Yeah.
Just a few ticks into the quarter, and the Broncos get goal number 4. So they still trail by 6. I was talking to Mark in between quarters, and I thought to myself, it sounds like a lot of whistles, but he's telling me just normal.
Yeah, the game revolves around the refs. It's super ref heavy, and there's just a lot of tinky fouls like that, but they just become a part of the game.
And I do like the whole idea of even when there's a foul call, the game just continues.
No, yeah, I mean, it becomes, drawing a common foul becomes a part of the game. I also coach water polo for 680, and one of the most important rules or lessons is how to properly draw a foul.
Right.
There's ways that you can draw a foul that put you in a really bad position, it's super easy to play defense, especially if you put your head underwater. So we always teach you have to keep your head above water, hips are up, and you draw a foul that you control, not the defender controls. And even defensively, sometimes it's the right idea to foul the defender.
And there's a score for Northgate. So 2 quick goals here in the quarter. They've cut the lead 10 to 5.
That looked another rule in the game is you're allowed to shoot off of a common foul like that, but it has to be outside that yellow cone. And so Coach Ryan Sevilla was noting that it looked like the Northgate player was right on that line right there.
All right, Northgate with the ball. And all of a sudden their 7-goal lead down to 5 rather, as 2 goals have been scored by the Broncos in quick succession. And now we've got a foul here on the near side. Boy, there's a free swimmer there for Los Lomas. That's Meredith Holm over there.
So that should have been an ejection right there. The Northgate player pushed the ball after the free throw, so that definitely should have been an ejection right there.
Broncos back quickly again. There's a lady ahead of the pack, and they're going to have a player on her back. So Los Lomas is going to be a swimmer down here as Northgate tries to climb back even closer. Still 5 minutes to go in this game. And now we're going to have another foul by Los Lomas. That's Vecchio on top with it. And there's a shot that's going to be off the post, off the hands of Halazinski. And now we're going to have a timeout call. So some Los Lomas fouls there and some Bronco goals. Still 4:42 to go. And the Broncos, Mark, still have hope.
Yeah, I mean, there's still almost 5 minutes left. It's a possession game, and so if you do the math right now, Northgate still has a chance to easily tie this game. They just need to be smart and not turn the ball over, and they need to make stops. That's the biggest thing for them is get a stop, go out in the counter, quick goals, and this game could be completely turned around in a heartbeat.
So Cassie Halazinski having a nice game in goal. Did give up those last couple, but second year on varsity for her. And you know, she had the chance to go to Hungary with the club team on a training trip. And one thing Coach says about her, she's got a really loud voice.
Definitely, and that's exactly what you want from a goalie.
You do.
McGoalie is kind of the QB on defense. They can see the entire pool. They know exactly what's going on. And so having a goalie that can communicate, tell you where to go, where the ball is, stuff like that, it helps out the defense so much. And that's like, especially for coaching wise, I'm always on our goalies, letting them know they got to talk to their teammates. Because it's super easy to get lost in this game. Super easy.
Super easy to get lost calling the game, too. All right, here's Los Lomas. And also, I was talking to the coach earlier, and he told me about balance in the water. Here's one going down to the quarter, down in sort of in the middle there, and that was Renee Fleming who had it. Northgate going to get it back. But balance in the water, body position. And the right-hander, point that left shoulder where you want the ball to go and your left hip.
Definitely. I always tell kids it's the same thing as baseball. The way you throw a water polo ball is the exact same way a pitcher pitches. You don't want to pitch flat-chested. You want to be able to rotate. Ooh, good save.
What a save right there at point-blank range. Boy, and listen to the cheer from the crowd. They certainly appreciate it. Broncos call timeout, but boy, it looked like, I mean, from point-blank range, so close that time for the Knights, and they were denied. Still, Knights lead at 10-5 here, 3:57 to go, as we've got a timeout here, and the swimmers head over to the side. And tell me also that really good players, good at pressure passing and pressure defense.
Definitely. One of the most important aspects of water polo is how you're able to hold on to the ball and pass the ball when you have a defender draped all over you. Got to make sure you don't go on your back. Going on your back is the worst thing you can do in water polo by far. As soon as you go on that back, you just allow the defender to press you and push you, and you can't make a good pass. So I always teach kids, keep your hips up on the surface of the water like a surfboard. You control the defense. You don't let the defense control you. And I mean, small stuff like that is the difference between just a regular high school player and a player that can play at the next level. And it's the small things that really end up mattering.
Yeah, I guess some of those things you just practice until you
Absolutely.
don't think about it anymore. You just do them naturally.
The same way a lot of people ask me, like, how do you say like a float in water polo? And I'm always like, it's the same way in like you play basketball. You never think about running. You just kind of do it. It's the same thing in water polo. You don't think about treading water. You don't think about floating. It's just muscle memory at that point. And so there, whenever the goalie tips the ball out, he goes behind the cage, you get the ball. It's kind of like a corner kick. You put the ball in the corner on the 2, and it's your free pass.
I'm going to get it right here. Crowded in front of the goal here momentarily. Now it's kind of spaced out a little bit. Northgate, another chance, and this one scores again. Northgate, how about that? Stahl getting that goal, and all of a sudden it's 10-6, and the Broncos are on a roll here. So it looked just a couple of minutes ago here, Mark, like Los Lomas had this game well in hand, but like you said, it's a game of runs,
Absolutely,
and Northgate's on one right now. Good defense there to knock it away. Can they get it? Going to get a foul call here. That was Vecchio who made the nice defensive play. Could not get possession of the ball, however. There's a nice save right there. Boy, and all of a sudden, the last couple of times down, good-looking shots from Los Lomas, but just absolutely denied. Northgate back on the attack, trailing by 4. 2:40 to go and counting. And this time cannot go fast enough if you're Los Lomas. There's Rose, dumps it in. Looked like Leto, number 4's got it, now to the center. Trying to get a shot off was Vecchio, and the shot clock sounds.
Shot clock violation, turnover to Los Lomas.
So good defense
Northgate
there.
needs a stop right now if they still want to be in this game.
Boy, wide open in front of the cage right now, and they're trying to dump it in, and beautiful touch shot. A nice pass to the middle and a touch shot into the goal. And that's Sasser getting that goal, and why, she has had a fantastic night. We've been calling her name a lot.
4th or 5th goal probably tonight. I played with her older brother, played with me. Kind of the exact same way, not the biggest, not the strongest, very quick. Yeah.
So that last goal broke a 4-goal run.
And that's huge for
the
Los
Broncos.
Lomas.
Yeah, talk about make it a little easier to breathe here.
Ooh, I don't really agree with that call.
Into the corner, down into the middle. There's the shot, tapped up and over the goal. So somebody in the middle just got a hand on that one to knock it away.
So now Los Lomas they have to keep on moving the ball up. You're not allowed to have the goalie sit on it in high school. In club, you're allowed to. But
so they have to come and attack?
So they have to move the ball up. So the goalie can't just sit on the goalpost, but the goalie can move up a foot every 10 seconds. They can move up very slowly, but they have to be moving up.
The Knights getting goal number 12.
Yeah, so that should seal it.
And that should pretty much put it away. Just a minute and a half to go here. And the Broncos going to bring in some fresh swimmers.
But yeah, most of the time in these types of situations, when you have a larger lead than there are possessions, you tend to just spread the ball out, put people on the corners of the pool, long passes, just holding onto the ball, kind of just kill the clock out. make sure you secure your lead.
Here's one's dumped down into the corner. Trailing 12-6. The Broncos were pretty game here in the quarter, and now we have a whistle. This ball going to be taken away.
Ball left with Northgate, turn over to Los Lomas.
Well, Los Lomas has it as we approach the minute mark here in quarter number 4. 2-1 after the first, 5-2 after the second. What a wild second half here.
Yeah, and one of my old club coaches, Miles Price, used to always say the third quarter is the most important quarter of the game by far. It sets the tone. If it's a close game at halftime and you win that third, it's really difficult to come back in the fourth. And that's exactly what Los Lomas did. They put the pedal down on the fourth. I think they scored what?
They scored a couple more.
Yeah, they scored like 5 or 6 goals in that third quarter, and so it let them give them a lot of breathing room for that Northgate run in the fourth.
But when it got to 10-6, and then the Knights were able to put the last 2 goals in there to really kind of put that arm distance between themselves and the Broncos. Here are the Broncos' last 17 seconds. Back up to the middle. There's the shot and counting. So the Broncos refuse to go quietly as they make it 12-7.
Yeah, and so Coach Ryan over there is telling everyone to just spread out, pass the ball around, and just kill these last 11 and a half seconds. So and that's exactly what they're going to do.
So Los Lomas is going to run this clock down, and now we're in the final 5 seconds here. The opening match of our doubleheader right here on Walnut Creek TV. The boys will follow, and that will do it. A final score, Knights 12, Broncos 7 to finish it out. And the Broncos, Mark, pretty game there in that second half, particularly in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But coming up a little bit short. But for the Los Lomas Knights, a 3-game winning streak to start the season. How about that?
And that's exactly how you want to start off every high school year. A lot of ways you schedule the season, how Los Lomas have done in the past is we kind of schedule a few tune-up games in the beginning. And that's exactly what they've done with like wins over Washington and College Park. Kind of get all the cobwebs out. A lot of people haven't played in a little bit, especially Club Polo ends in the beginning of August, so it's been about a month since they probably played the last game. So tune up, and then you head into that league schedule, which ramps up real quick.
Yeah, that'll get started on the 25th. So in the DFL standings now, Los Lomas moves to 3-0 in the DVL. First game of the season, Northgate drops to 0-1. So that'll do it for game number 1. The boys' game will start here momentarily. We'll take a break right here on Walnut Creek TV. Come on back. The boys will start in just a moment. All right, here we go, boys match. And here's the sprint to open the match. The Los Lomas Knights, the ladies taking care of business in the opener. 12-6, the final there. Northgate made a nice push in that second quarter as the first whistle as we begin this one. And for Northgate, they are just getting things underway for them. Los Lomas, a couple of wins under their belt like their lady counterparts. They beat Washington 24-4. They beat College Park 18-7. So a nice start for the Los Lomas Knights. And here we are going the other way. Battle of the Creek right here on Walnut Creek TV. Anthony Schultz along with Mark Katz. And an exciting girls match. I know the boys trying to entertain us the rest of the way. Nice catch there as they get it to the apex. Trying to get it inside. Los Lomas, there's a shot. Nicely saved
Number 1, Ryan Parker, is out with the left hand.
Boy, beautiful save there by Northgate. I believe that's Aiden Pierce in goal right now for the Broncos. And that shot was at point-blank range.
Yeah.
Saying that a lot here this afternoon. There's another whistle. So the Los Lomas Knights, talking about it earlier, a lot of ownage here against the Northgate team. The last Northgate win in this matchup all the way back to 2007. Northgate trying to turn that around right now. There's the shot up and over the crossbar as the shot clock sounds.
Your Northgate Broncos, number 3, Omar Shalabi, number 3, Kai Selchat.
So Shalabi, Omar with that first shot for Northgate. That one goes awry, and back the other way we go.
14 Stein, 19.
Oh, taken away, number 13. Oh, Easton Mann. And I'm thinking, that's the coach's son.
That is the son of Skip, yeah.
The Northgate Broncos are coached
And his older son, Dylan, graduated last year. He's playing at UC Davis now. That's an exclusion by Jack Martin right there.
12, Jack.
So they wave that one off.
So the goal doesn't count because they call the exclusion before he shot it.
All right.
But they'll still get the power play. And that's definitely one of the most contested rules in water polo is a lot of people like to see that to be a continuous play so you can get the goal and not take the ejection.
Here's the shot off the far post and score.
That's Donnie
Nicely
Nickel.
done. Yeah, Donnie Nickel, number 4, the senior, and that puts the Knights on the board 1-0.
Los Lomas scoring number 4, Donnie Nickel. Time of goal 4:57.
Here comes Northgate trying to get the equalizer here. Boy, the ball's still way out from the goal. And now another whistle, and all right, here's Northgate back in the attack, just getting underway here in the first period of the boys' game. 4:39 to go, 1-0 in favor of Los Lomas. And the whistle's now coming fast and furious as we have another turnover.
I don't think you can
no,
shoot
actually,
that.
No,
yeah.
they're going to say no.
He drew the foul inside of the yellow cone. Even though the ball floated outside of the cone, it's wherever the foul is. So if you take that shot, it's an automatic turnover the other way.
Number 5, Jack Martin. Number 7, Tommy O'Connor. Number 9, Drew.
So here is the Northgate getting the ball back here, and the gentleman will swim the length of the floor. Here comes the ball. And Northgate, and that was number 14 with the ball. That is Stein, As we tick under 4 minutes here in the opening period, and another whistle as we change ends again. And back the other way come the Los Lomas Knights. That one is going to count. So Los Lomas quickly gets score number 2.
Los Lomas goal for number 5, Jack Martin. Time of the goal 3:40.
Here's Northgate now all of a sudden trailing 2-0. Boy, good defense
steal
there.
by
Knocked
Tom.
away and then a whistle. Make it
I
Boy,
say it's a questionable call on both aspects. I don't think that was a foul. I think it's a steal. And that should have been a kick out after he called the foul. That should be a kick out too. Yeah. That's Tommy O'Connor. I'd say he's one of the best players in the country of his age. And that's an ejection. You just can't go over the top of a person with the ball like that.
So O'Connor is out, and the Knights going to be a man down here. Is a shot
good,
that is
good
blocked.
field block.
Good defense, gentlemen. Changing ends in a hurry here. Los Lomas looks to be on a fast break. Looked like they had the numbers momentarily. There's the shot off the post. No good. Boy, but that was really nice flow to the game right there. Boy, you can see the boys getting up the pool very, very quickly, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want. You always want to be up on that counter. A field block, and Donnie just took off and went. That's exactly what you want. And then Jack with a really good pass into center, and there's that post. So one of the first places you want to look on that. There you go.
Oh, beautiful block. Boy, Parker in goal, able to knock it away. Boy, Parker a little frustrated throwing that ball.
And that's exactly what you want. You want the 6-on-5. The two best places to put the ball are on those two posts, right on the 2-meter line. If you get the ball there, you're going to score it almost every single time.
So Northgate could have called timeout, a 3-0 Knights lead, as they have sprinted out to the early lead here. As we play the nightcap, girls winning the Los Lomas ladies winning that first match, and quickly the Knights out in front of the Broncos. And unfortunately for Northgate and their fans and their swimmers, they've seen just too much of this in this matchup.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was lucky to be a part of 4 of these wins for us too, and it's always super fun. But Northgate has definitely gotten better as the years have gone on, especially now that they have their own pool. They're able to practice here, and it attracts a lot more kids, and hopefully as the years go on, their program gets a lot better.
Well, they certainly have the facility to attract the attention. Coach Mann, Los Lomas, been the coach here since 1996, and last year in the Final Four in the Open Division, made it to the semifinal. Lost to Campo. Campo ended up winning it all, and I think you were talking about them on the girls' side, and Campo and Miramani on the boys' side. Very good as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're the ones that haven't. I mean, I believe Campo's been in the NCS championship since my freshman year of high school, which was all the way back in 2013. So they've made it to the championship game every single year. They've won 4 of them now. And I mean, they just have a very deep program with a lot of kids. And a really good coach, Miles Price, who was my coach for 3 years too, when I played for 680.
Yeah, we're talking about all the club teams, and they tell me that they love to play high school water polo, but the club teams is kind of really where it's at.
Definitely. I mean, we could have in our single club alone, we feed into Los Lomas, Northgate, De La Salle, San Ramon, Monte Vista. And used to be Campo. And we had a few my team we had a few Miramani people too. So our club fed deeply. There's 3 kind of main clubs in this area, and that's 680, La Marinda, and CC United. And so it's always a competition of who's on top for every single age group.
So another goal here for Los Lomas. That makes it 4-0. And boy, seats are still getting warm here for the boys' game. Minute 47 to go in the quarter. Already 4-0 in favor of the Knights. So that must be really great for the coaches here in high school. When you get a water polo player, that is a very seasoned individual that you're getting.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's why some of these high schools in the area are so good. It's just there's so many kids that are playing right now. And it goes, like Campo, they can go 20 deep. And San Ramon has some amazing players where a lot of these kids are going to high school, especially like in my the classes around me. We had even kids from Los Lomas. One of my really good friends, Bailey, he's playing at UCLA right now. And Jacob Halley's playing at Santa Barbara, and our goalie Seth is playing at Long Beach.
Wow.
So we just have a lot of players going to top Division I schools.
When I talked to Coach Mann, he tells me that he's also runs one of the club teams.
Yeah, so Skip was in charge of the club that I played for and coached for.
And telling me there's in their organization, and not just around Los Lomas, but it's 300 players.
Oh, absolutely.
Involved.
Yeah, no, it's all the schools I just listed, like San Ramon.
Northgate goal number 3.
Boy, that was Tommy O'Connor again. Tommy O'Connor, a junior, 6'4". You know, already some of the top schools in the country, like you were saying, are interested, including UCLA. And boy, he is off to a hot start, and so are the Knights. And all of a sudden, it's 5-0.
Not a goal.
Tommy can do anything, post guys up, shoots from the outside. We just saw that. And
I think they actually took that goal away. I'm not exactly sure.
They've got it on the board here at 5-0. Let's see whether or not they change that.
I think maybe the ball went on the side of the net, not into the net.
There's some question as to whether or not that is a score.
We actually had one of these issues my sophomore year. We were playing Acalanes. We were down by 1. One of our best players, David Kessler, scored the ball. We watched the video of it many times, but unfortunately the ref said we had a hole in the net, and they said it went through the hole in the net, not into the cage. We ended up losing that game.
What do you mean that doesn't count?
Well, they thought it went through the side, not through it, and so it was a huge mess. We had to get new nets and everything, but it happens in this sport. There's a lot of wild stuff that goes on. So I'm not sure what they're doing. I think they're counting it as a goal, I think.
You know, the scoreboard hasn't changed. Still says 5-0. But Northgate seems to be contesting this. And if you're the Broncos, you'd like nothing more than to have that last goal erased. Yeah, this is baseball. They could just go to New York and find out what happened. I always wonder why, if they have cameras there, why do they need to call New York? I just never did kind of figure that out. But it actually does make a lot of bad calls, fixes a lot of bad calls. So I got to give them that. But like we're doing now, it also stalls the game.
Oh, absolutely. You know, one of the worst things is when something like this happens, whether the ball went in the goal or they have a clock malfunction, just sitting there in the pool is one of the worst things. You just want to play. Okay, so I don't think they're counting the goal. Yeah, I don't think they are.
Well, let's see if they take it off. Well, the referees will make his way back to the scorer's table, and we'll see if we're going to make it a four-goal lead for the Knights instead of 5.
They're set up.
No goal.
Yeah, they're set up like there's no goal. So.
Okay, official decision is no goal.
So Mark was right on that one. So you start talking, you look away for 1 second, you look up, and somebody scored.
Yeah.
Gotta like that.
Ooh.
Northgate nearly stolen away, and now a whistle to stop that one. Nice pressure defense by number 5, Jack Martin. There's Northgate looking for their first goal of the game. Good pressure there, right in the middle. There's the shot off the post and the crossbar, right in the corner. Boy, top shelf. Unable to get that one to go. That's kind of a heartbreaker there. Good looking shot,
Yeah.
just too much of that post.
I mean, that's exactly what you want. We always coach kids to put the ball up in the high corners where the goalie can't get it. And that was a really good ejection drawn by Tommy. Good positioning, got the ball, made a move towards the cage, and the defender was all over him. And there's the post. There you go.
Boy, there's one put in.
That's perfect. The post is wide open on that 6-on-5. That's always your first looks. Are the 3 posts, which was where they scored from right in there, and the 2 posts, which is on the other side. And those are, you get the ball in a good position, it's a goal almost every time.
Well, Dante Ionora, number 8, able to put that one in. They haven't tallied on the scoreboard yet, but I think that's going to be 5-0 lead here for Los Lomas. Still haven't changed the scoreboard, but they do get the 5th goal here for the Knights. Northgate trying to get some offense going. Good pressure defense there by O'Connor. Tommy able to come up there and try to knock the ball away. Then we got the whistle. Working against Bremer. Here's a nice double team taken away, and that'll do it for the first quarter. So all Knights here in the first quarter. Scoreboard says 4-0. I think it's 5-0 as we end the first quarter of play. And boy, just kind of like this rivalry is gone. All one-sided here in the first quarter. All Los Lomas there in the opener.
And kind of the difference is Los Lomas is up fast off that counter attack. They're getting stops and immediately going to the other side of the pool. They're getting wide open looks. While Northgate, they're playing super high up. When you have your bottom line at 4 meters, you don't allow your offense that much space. So it's really hard to set up. It's super easy to defend. And so if they want to get back in this game and you get the ball all the way down to the 2, spread out, and kind of exploit not Jack and Tommy and Donnie, who are definitely the 3 best players at Los Alamos right now.
So let's talk about the whole set a little bit. You talked about that as the quarterback of the team covering the middle of the pool. Kind of explain that a little bit.
The whole set, he's the center. So the best way to score is put the ball as close as you can to that goal. The further you are away, the easier it is for a goalie to block it. So you want to always go to the middle. If you have a big guy, especially like a Tommy O'Connor, in this setting, he's going to be playing in the center a lot. On club, when there's a lot more players, Tommy's actually the defender of the guy in the middle. He's one of the top defenders in the country at it too. But in this setting, his skill set is better offensively. So you want to get the ball, you want to spread out, give him a lot of space and a lot of time, get the ball, and it's really just a one-on-one. It's kind of like Shaq posting anyone up. You know, Shaq just does what he wants, and so if you have a really big center, a guy that can control the water, can control his defender, that's a goal almost every single time.
Well, so far it's been all Los Lomas. And just another minute to go here before we start the second period. And Los Lomas looking for the sweep here tonight. And looking at the schedule, Northgate, September the 11th, they'll get Heritage. And then against Concord on the 25th, they will begin the league play. And take a look at the DFL standings coming in. Los Lomas with that 2-0 record that we told you about. Acalanes also 2-0. Campo and Miramani, they're just getting underway. They haven't yet to play a game. And the D-Val, Alhambra 2-1. College Park 4-2. Clayton Valley 0-2. Concord and Northgate getting things underway here tonight. And the choice of music, I tell you, it's somebody over 50. It's been all 80s, 90s kind of stuff. And boy, stuff from way back when I was in high school. I thought it was all hip-hop these days. I guess not.
No, there's a good appreciation for old school music, too.
All right, start the second quarter. Gentlemen racing for the ball. This will go back, and Los Lomas is going to claim the first possession. Boy, and quickly a whistle. And that'll go against Los Lomas. Here come the Broncos trying to get a goal here and get on the board. Dump in the middle. Nice feed to the inside, but all of a sudden, just all over them there are the Knights. Among them, Danny Nickel, the senior. That was a nice conversion on the ball, right in the middle of the, right in front of the goal. Broncos looking for their shot. There's one up and over the crossbar. So on that last possession, it looked to me like the Broncos did a nice job, Mark, to get the ball inside where they wanted it, but then the quick conversion by the defense.
I mean, they still drew the ejection, which is exactly what you want out of there, but having that defense come back real nice and quick, it's exactly what you want.
Boy, there is one off the goalkeeper's hand and in, and that counts. And that's a half dozen goals here in the first half for the Knights.
Sorry, I can't read the writing. Inora. Time of the goal, 6-0.
Dante Ionora, and that's goal number 6. So the officials talking something over here.
They're just making sure that everyone's at their caps tied. As soon as that slips off, you have no clue who's on what team.
Boy, there's a pass loose. And now it's going to be a foul against the Knights, and quickly another one. I think the officials are going to get tired from blowing the whistles. You're going to get winded. 5:46 to go, just getting underway here in the second. And now we have an offensive foul going against Northgate. And Los Lomas has it back, trying to add to their 6-0 lead. Ball quickly thrown back up the pool. Here's O'Connor. He swims in, looking for his shot, fires, and it's taken away. Nicely done by Parker that time. Parker in good position, able to make that catch.
Yeah, and that's definitely not how you want to continue this offense. A lot of times when you go up like this, it's pretty easy to get lazy. But shots like that where it just goes right in the goalie's halo is exactly how you just lead a team to get back in this game. If you're Los Lomas, you still have to play smart, still play your style of offense, counter hard, and honestly bury this game before the start of the third.
Here's Nickel, number 4 coming up the pool. Doesn't have the numbers. Now looking for a trailer here, looking for somebody to pass to. Now he's moving up, going to try to center this one. And there's another one. O'Connor again. So Nickel, the pass to O'Connor, and he gets the goal.
Yeah, and I mean that's why he's one of the best players in the country. He's so big and long. It's almost impossible to find someone to be able to guard him.
So he has been a handful here for the Broncos, and the Broncos 4:45 to go here in the second quarter, so still a long way to go, but right now they are really getting manhandled by the Knights. All right, Broncos trying to get something going offensively. Been shut out here so far through nearly a quarter and a half. Here come the Broncos, dump it off. There's O'Connor with the defense knocking the ball away and not fouling. That seems quite difficult to do, Mark, to play defense and not foul.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways you can, like we always try to teach. You don't want to draw a foul. Like, you never want the person to just get a free pass. You just want to keep your hips up, push him back, and keep your hand in a good position to hit his elbow. But just giving him silly fouls, I can open up a team's offense so easy. There's a good set pass.
There's another goal.
That's like a textbook set goal. Get the ball, release early, roll out onto your back a little bit, and put it nice and low in the corner.
Jack Martin tallying that one, 8-0 now in favor of the Knights. And this is starting to look like a runaway, but we thought that about the Northgate girls. They did make a nice run near the end of that game before falling 12-6. So let's see if the Bronco boys have a run in them as well, because right now they really need it. Here is number 6, Sanchez, being harassed by Reynolds. And here's a turnover, and here comes that man again. It's O'Connor. Looks like he's got some kind of a breakaway going here. And now the Northgate player was hooking. Are they going to call that? Now they're going to call that against O'Connor.
Yeah. So that's Tommy was the one that was hooking him. He just made a move that was just a little too aggressive and a little too high up out of the water. Hooked the defender, and that's a contra foul.
Across the pool it goes. Quickly a foul. Ooh. Boy, nice looking move to get away, but then lost the ball.
That's just good help by Tommy right there. But if you're number 5, Jack Martin, you can't let that defender go like that. You got to make sure you're playing in front of him, and if he goes around you just got to show your hands.
Martin with it, fires. This one is tipped by a defender, and it looked like Drew LaFortesa got a piece of that ball to knock it away. Here comes the Broncos the other way. And there's a whistle. Boy, that one's out in front of the goal, and again, another whistle.
Lost Lomas exclusion to number 5, Jack Martin.
So Jack Martin, he's going to be asked to leave. So he's in that sort of the water polo version of the penalty box over there.
This will be a full timeout.
So timeout called, 8-0 in favor of the Knights. And I talked to Coach Mann earlier. He said a 20-win season is what they're looking for, and to go Final Four in the Open Division. And they obviously would love to get to the championship game. And talking to me about some of the teams that are really good, we talked about Miramani and Campo Lindo. They're loaded. De La Salle, Monte Vista, Drake out in Marin County, San Ramon. Also some really, really good teams. So a lot of competition around, especially locally.
I mean, this is one of the top areas for water polo in the country. Some of the best players that go to college are from here in South Bay. There's just a very big presence of aquatics in this area, and so it's like super easy to get started. And once you're in it, like you're in it for all of high school. And so kind of we have a NorCal versus SoCal kind of mentality when it comes to water polo. So all the NorCal kids kind of stick together, and all the SoCal kids kind of stick together. And we have a little bit of a rivalry between us.
We are tribal, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right, following this timeout, 2:47 to go here in the opening half. Mark Katz alongside me. I'm Anthony Schultz. 8-0 in favor of the Knights as Los Lomas looking for the doubleheader sweep right here on Walnut Creek TV. But still, a long way to go in this one. And now ready to get back underway here. Over to the corner. Broncos back on top. Looking for the shot. Still looking. Last couple of seconds on the shot clock. There's one fire tipped up and over the crossbar.
Goalie reached out and deflected the ball. Ball back to
So a nice deflection there for Pierce. Pierce, 6'5", also a baseball pitcher. A multi-sport athlete, which I understand there's not that many of them. Most of these guys that really stick to, once they start playing water polo, they stick to this sport.
Yeah, it's just a sport that, like, if you're going to be serious back on the next level, you need to play all year round. Kind of the additional thing we do is pretty much everyone here is on a swim team. Whether it's high school or rec, that's kind of the additional sport we do. But your entire focus is on water polo.
Must make for a lot of wrinkled fingers.
Absolutely. There would be summers like in high school where I would have.
That shot's going to go in off the goalie and count it. It's 9-0.
I would have a swim practice in the morning, and then I would go and we'd have a summer high school practice, followed by I'd go coach then. Then I would have a 1600s practice and an 1800s practice. So I would have 4 practices and be in the water for about 8 hours each day.
8 hours in the water?
From the morning all the way from
Lord.
8 in the morning to 9 at night, pretty much be in the water.
You know, I go to the local swimming pool in about an hour and a half. I'm done. And that includes sunbathing.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's going to be in the sun the entire summer. Go from pool deck to pool deck. Buy a lot of sunscreen. It's a lot of fun. And
I'm surprised I'm not seeing like sunscreen like signs around here for sponsorship.
There's a few. Every once in a while I'll get a pool with that. But it's just like we all love just being in the water at all times. We're far more athletic in the water too. So it's kind of just second nature. So being in the pool is just not that big of a deal.
So a high pass. Fink tries to chase that one down. Shot clock running down. 3 seconds. There's the shot. That won't even be close. Shot clock horn sounds, and just not a very productive possession that time for the Broncos.
Yeah, not at all. There was a lot of, all right, not the best passes, which just kills your offense right away.
Yeah, you spend so much time just chasing down the ball. Boy, there's going to be a foul. That looked like that was Sanchez. There's a shot, and that's going to score. Boy, right into the corner that time. Gabe Iserman, the junior. And boy, that was a good-looking throw right there. I mean, boy, that was looked like a cut fastball right past the batter. And this one is getting out of hand quickly. 25 seconds and counting to go here in the first half. 10-0 now in favor of Los Lomas. So at least so far, Mark, the ownage by the Knights over the Broncos continues here. Last 10 seconds.
And this is kind of how almost all of our, when I was playing, this is kind of how the games went too. A nice opening quarter, and then a lot of the players who don't usually get to have a lot of minutes get a lot of good time early in the season to play.
So that will do it at the end of 2. 10-0 in favor of Los Lomas, as they have just absolutely dominated this first half. And Mark, what more can you say about the performance of the Knights? They were just absolutely all over the Broncos.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much. I mean, they are going down the pool faster. They're better reads on defense and smarter decisions on offense is kind of why they're up 10-0. It kind of just comes down to they want it more, and they're the ones that came out to play. Yeah.
Right now they are just simply better than the Broncos are. 10-0 here at the half, and we'll be back for the second half right here on Walnut Creek TV. Stay tuned. All right, back here for the third quarter, almost ready for the sprint. Anthony Schultz here along with you with Mark Katz. And, well, so far it's been all Knights. 5 goals for the Knights in the first, 5 more in the second, and they lead it 10-0. And here is the sprint to start the second half as we get the third period underway. And to say the least, the Broncos need to make a serious run right now. Broncos will have the first possession. We talked about how good some of these teams are. Our first whistle comes quite early. The past couple of years, Miro and Campo have been really, really tough. And from last year, Campo's entire starting lineup of seniors went to D1.
Yeah.
To play at the next level. And that, I mean, you never hear about that, whether it's in basketball or football. You just don't hear that.
I mean, that's why Campo is where they are. They're just so deep and have so many good players. You kind of see that a lot with like some SoCal schools like Mater Dei or Harvard Westlake, where their entire starting lineup are top D1 athletes. But up here, it's a little more rare. But that team was really good, and I remember just like talking with some of the kids my age a few years ago when we were here, and they're like, dude, these kids are going to be legit in like 2 years. And obviously they are, and they walked to an NCS championship last year.
Nice looking catch there. Beautiful catch and throw, and off the far post and score. Boy, that was beautifully done. And that was number 23, Jack Richards. Jack Richards made the youth national team, just came back from Barcelona, and a bunch of the kids have played all over the state and in Europe. We talked about these guys being so well-traveled, and Jack is one of those well-traveled guys, totaling up those frequent flyer miles. But you talk about the ball movement and the ability to make the catch here, you know, with the ladies into the men so far, you definitely see a difference in the ability to grab that ball out of the air.
There's quite a big difference between girls and boys water polo. They kind of played a little differently. Boys utilize the center a lot more than girls do. There's just a few subtle differences that you can, once you get into water polo, you can kind of just notice the difference between them. There's a lot more outside shooting in men's water polo.
11-0 now. Here is a save. Nicely done there. That would be Aiden Pierce, number 1, making that save for Los Lomas. There's one shot. And boy, that was a quick flick of the wrist. That one wasn't a wind-up that time.
I think he kind of rushed that shot a little bit. I think if he just kept the defender on his back and used that water to his advantage, I think he could have gotten a much easier shot off, but he kind of rushed that pretty quickly.
Yeah, Ryan Parker made a nice play there, and it's got to be a frustrating afternoon so far for Parker. Here's a shot, another save by Pierce. So goalies on both sides making some nice plays here to keep the offenses off the board. But when you're down 11-0, and this could be 12, here we go again, and that one is going to count, and that will be goal number 12. Dante Anara again. Dante, he spells that I-A-N-O-R-A.
Yeah, Ianora. I played his older brother played when I was there.
Dante able to get the goal and make it an even dozen here so far for the Knights as they continue to pour it on. 5 in the first, 5 in the second, and now 2 here in the third. And the Broncos just, well, scratching their heads right now, trying to find some kind of an answer. You see in most of these trips down the pool, as we have another whistle, most of the trips down the pool, they're not really even getting a quality shot off.
Yeah, that just shows how good Los Lomas' defense has been. They're just not letting the ball move. They're keeping that set nice and covered, and once that happens, there's really not much you can do.
Some good defense there by Ryan Dudkin, and he really forced that last shot, Mark, into that corner and made it a much easier goal to defend for Pierce. Here's one coming up the pool now. Northgate on the fast break. Dump it inside. Catch not made there, and now we have a whistle. Northgate trying to recover and get a shot off here. Here's a shot, and a beautiful block by Pierce with the left hand. Boy, that was a good-looking shot. A couple of good-looking shots back-to-back, but Pierce able to turn away the Broncos both times. Pierce is really having himself a fine game.
Yeah. And I mean, anytime you see a 0 on the board, that means you're having a good game.
Boy, now we're going to have an offensive foul. Ball thrown up the pool here.
Well, that should be an ejection right there.
Boy, that's got to be.
That's a pretty easy call. The defender's all over the top of him.
That's almost one of those, not really a bad penalty, though, because the Broncos were in good shape that time.
Definitely. I mean, there's definitely times where you want to take that ejection rather than give up a free goal, but I would say in that situation, you kind of want to pressure that the person on offense and kind of taking a quick shot and make an easier read for the goalie.
Well, the Broncos get on the board as they get the goal. Stein will get the assist as the Broncos get the goal and make it 12-1. Still 2:52 to go here in this third period. But the Broncos finally are on the board. And now we have an offensive foul, and they'll swim the other way.
Yeah, and that's the type of foul you won't really see that be called if the game was close. That definitely be just a normal play, but as the game gets a little out of hand as it is now, the refs just kind of tighten up and offer, and that should be a ball under. Yeah.
Boy, that time again, and we've seen this a couple of times, when the Broncos get the ball into good position down close to the goal, all of a sudden you see either 2 or now, and this time 3 white hats.
Yeah, and that's perfect
white caps
defense.
right around them.
We at Los Lomas have always ran a press to drop. So we're up, press out on defense, and then as soon as that ball goes into set, we're all of us are back and we're getting the ball out of the whole set's hands. And so that's just perfect defense.
Boy, that last one went right off the crossbar to deny Los Lomas.
And that's another call I would say that would happen that wouldn't happen in a game that was tied right now. That ball seemed a little bit too far away, but nevertheless, he was being held, so they called that exclusion.
Here's a nice feed to the inside. Good chance here for the Broncos, and they score. Boy, Sanchez getting the feed from Shalabi, and the Broncos get on the board for the second time here in the period. And even though they're down by 10, Mark, that's got to feel awfully good for Northgate. A warning for diving. kind of like lifeguard duty, too.
Yeah, he told my senior year, he told me that, too, when I dove in for one of our games.
There's another chance. Oh, nicely done. Taken away that time by Parker. Well, Parker's had a tough night, but he's able to make another good save there. He's made a handful of those. And see if the Broncos can get even a little bit closer. Still 1:20 to go. Only the third period. What kind of run can the Broncos make? And now we have another whistle.
Exclusion to number 5, Jack Martin.
Broncos looking for goal number 3. Got 2 in a row. This one's thrown away. That pass seemingly to nobody. And now a breakaway here for the Knights. Can they get number 13? Around the back and the save. Oh, that was pretty. Oh, that was beautiful. You had the around the back shot, and the goalie Parker just stuck out his left arm and blocked it. Boy, that's going to make the highlight reel.
Yeah, I don't think that was the smartest shot.
There's one off the post.
I mean, that was a little bit of showboating right there.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to see the water anymore for the rest of this game.
It was still a pretty save. Now we have whistles stopping
really
action.
good save, but I personally would not be the one doing a behind the back on a one on nobody up 10 goals.
12 to 2.
He won't be playing anymore. He's getting subbed out right now.
Coaches frown on that, huh?
Yeah, there's just no reason for it. Oh, you're up 10. Take the goal. You don't have to do anything fancy like that, and it just looks bad. You didn't even score it.
Yeah, it ended up looking good for Northgate.
Yeah.
And their goalie, Parker. Los Lomas trying to make it a baker's dozen here, and now another whistle.
That's inside.
There's one thrown in and scored.
That's going to be waved off. He was inside that yellow cone on that one by about a meter or two.
Too close.
Oh.
And there's another nice stop. Aiden Pierce on the other side. So we've seen 14 goals scored, but we've also seen a lot of nice saves as well. And that'll do it for the third period. That last shot will not count. Third period has come to an end. 12-2 in favor of the Knights. Stay tuned. We'll be back to Walnut Creek TV for the final quarter to finish this one up. right, final quarter. The Knights lead at 12-2. The Broncos made a nice little run there to get a couple of goals, but then the Knights added that last one. So 12-2, headed for the fourth quarter, and here is that sprint, and the Broncos are going to get the first possession. Boy, here's a turnover. Los Lomas going to get it back. Up the pool they go. Looking for that Baker's dozen. Here comes O'Connor right in front of the goal, and he's going to score. Tommy O'Connor one more time, and it's a Baker's dozen here for the Knights. They lead it 13-2. And that didn't take long.
Nope, not at all. That's exactly what you want if you're Los Lomas. Just a quick goal. We'd always say when we're coaching, I always want the first 2 goals of every quarter. You come out there, get the first 2 goals, you set the tone for that quarter, and it's hard for the other team to come back.
Broncos trying. This stripped, and now we're going to have a whistle. But Sanchez looked like he was right there for a goal, and then again that conversion by the Knights defense, and they've just been really good at that.
Yeah, and that's one of the things you always want to focus on, and you do a lot of drills based off of that help right there. As soon as that ball goes in the middle, everyone's crashing back. If not, you just allow the whole set to just have space and time, and that's what kills teams.
No goal, turnover to Northgate.
So it's a turnover to Northgate. That ball did go in, but they waved that one off. So the score remains 13-2 in favor of Las Lomas. And here are the Broncos. They wasn't taken away, and now here's another whistle.
That's another exclusion on number 9 right there. On
So,
Drew.
Man advantage here for the Broncos. Can they take advantage? There's a nice catch there. Not a very good angle. Go back on top. There's a fire and score. Nicely done. So the Broncos, Stein gets a goal. So Reed able to keep himself out of the water there and kind of waving that ball back and forth, and then was able to fire it past the goalie, Pierce. Good looking score there, making it 13-3. Broncos a long way to go here. They do have 5.5 minutes. Let's see if they can at least put together some kind of a run and make this one a lot closer. And now we're going to have a whistle against the Knights, as Tommy O'Connor was right in front of the goal there with the ball all by himself, but the officials say turnover. There's a shot and knocked away by Pierce. That one was taken from a little too far back, and Pierce was all over that one. Here's O'Connor ahead of the pack. O'Connor fires and he scores. Tommy O'Connor again. Until they told us he was tough to stop, and he is proven to be impossible to stop right now.
I think he's set so far both the freshman and sophomore yearly scoring records. And I think he's 100% on pace to destroy Los Lomas' career goals record for sure.
He might get it tonight. And again, another aspect of the Knights game that has been so impressive, Mark, is yet another whistle, is their ability to get the ball in that fast break mode and get it up the pool quickly.
And that's always been one of our strong suits as a team throughout years. We have a lot of fast, quick guys here. And so we've always really worked on our counterattack and feeding it, and that's how we've had some of the success that we've had as a program, is just how we emphasize the counterattack.
10 seconds on the shot clock here, and the Broncos a couple of times with the errant passes, and that's costing them a lot of time with this possession. And they're going to score anyway. Northgate gets it. So that looked like an ugly possession until they scored.
That happens a lot. A lot of people, the most underutilized time in water polo is when the teams come even. So there's a 6-on-5 for 20 seconds, but there's still 10 seconds left in the shot clock as soon as the play becomes even. And those 10 seconds, a lot of goals can be scored, and a lot of teams just don't utilize it because they start rushing it. Oh, no, we're even. They rush a shot, don't get a good look. But like that, a good look, even though it seemed like it was a messed up play.
Oh, O'Connor stripped of the ball that time by Bremer. Knights get to keep it here as we tick down to 4 minutes to go. 14-4 in favor of the Knights. And there is a nice looking save there by Parker. Reaching out with the left hand and taking away that far post. So some aspects of the Broncos, Mark, they've looked good, but not been able to put it together. And now here's for the first time is a wide open play, and they score. And that was the first time as Reed Stein gets his second goal of the game. But that is the first time that I've seen a Bronco with the ball in the middle in front of the goal and the swimmers on the defense not converging on him.
That appeared to just be like lazy defense by a few of the Los Lomas players. Everyone's kind of sat there and watched. And even though it probably won't affect this game right now, those are types of goals that can really turn a game around, that can really turn a season around, especially in a big game. So you shouldn't take any possession off, no matter what the score of the game is.
So Reed's goal makes it 14-5, 3.5 mark to go here in the fourth. Looks like Los Lomas has this one well in hand.
Yeah.
And now here's another penalty against the Knights, so the Broncos will get it back here. So we were talking about how good Campolindo was and all the players that went to D1. Beck,
Jurasis.
Yeah. Thank you for that. He's going to Stanford. There's a nice save on that land. Giorgio Alessandri is going to UCLA. Garrett Dunn is at USC.
Yeah.
And they were number 2 in the nation, and the only problem they had, Mark, was a team down south called Mater Dei, who beat them 3 times, all in overtime.
Yeah, Mater Dei is definitely known to be. They're a water polo powerhouse, and they have been for years. The kind of SoCal kind of has a chokehold on NorCal when it comes to high school. It's a little bit more even in club, but we just have less clubs in general here, and so we have less clubs feeding more high schools. But down there, every kid that goes to Mater Dei plays on the same club team, and so they play together year-round. Versus here, you have Tommy O'Connor, who plays for CC United, and then you have Jack Martin, who plays for 680, and then Donnie plays for CCU, and so you just have all these kids playing on different clubs. They don't play together year-round. But you get on to SoCal and all those schools, their club team is their high school team, and they all stick together. So that's kind of the biggest thing. But those Campo kids, CC United 16s last summer finished second in the country. They lost in the national championship game, and Tommy was one of the most important players on that team, for sure.
Yeah, you see how good Campo was, all those guys going to those big schools. And then you say to yourself, how good must Mater Dei be?
It's the exact same thing. They have all those kids going to top schools like that.
I bet.
To USC, to UCLA, to Cal, and Stanford. And that's why, once you get into the club, it's a lot more even. It's like we had CCU was in the championship game for both 18s and 16s for boys. And our club 680 was in the championship game for 14s and 12s. So we just have a lot of really good players that play at the highest level. But in high school, everything kind of spreads out a little bit.
Well, here's what Coach Mann told me. Between 680, CC United, La Marinda, just between those 3 teams, there's a shot, nice save there. Between those 3 teams, there are over 1,000 boys playing.
Yeah.
That is that's an incredible turnout. Do you get that many baseball players in an area? Doesn't seem like you do.
I don't know, man. Our area is so bred on aquatics, and you can even see it, not just water polo, like swimming too. We have a few big meets here in Walnut Creek. Like the Walnut Creek City meet has over 1,800 swimmers in Walnut Creek alone at it. And so we just have so many people in the water all summer and all year round, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, they just finished up the National Junior Olympics in July. And they tell me, as fun and good as high school water polo is, they say that's just bigger than high school water polo.
Oh, absolutely. I was coaching at JOs for 680. I was our 1400s assistant coach, and we lost in the national championship game.
Wow.
And it just, you're there. There's hundreds of people watching, probably thousands of people watching. All top college recruits are there. That's awesome. It's 4 days. There's a boys' side and a girls' side of it. It's 4 days of just nonstop water polo. They rotate between being hosted up in Stanford and being hosted in Orange County every year. So this past year it was in Orange County. And it's awesome. Like pretty much everyone, single one of these kids were down there. You go and watch the older kids, you go and watch the younger kids. It's so much fun.
Water polo paradise. Reed Stein getting that last goal to make it 14-6. And that might just close out the scoring as Las Lomas just willing to hold on to the ball here last 15 seconds. A dominating performance here by the Las Lomas Knights, just trying to bleed away the rest of this time as the sun beginning to set here in Walnut Creek. And that'll be a turnover. I think they took too much time in the last couple of seconds, and this should do it. That one knocked away, thrown the length of the pool, and that will do it. A final score, the Knights win it 14-6 over the Broncos. And for Las Lomas in our doubleheader here on Walnut Creek TV, they sweep the Broncos. Girls winning earlier 12-6, 14-6 here with the boys. And Mark, I thank you very much for your insight here on water polo. And any last words here, and what kind of performance you saw here from Las Lomas?
I think it was a really well-rounded game. They played really good up in the beginning of the game, got out to a really nice big lead, nice and early, which is exactly what you want. Just some of the things they can work on is being a little more crisp, not having some of these mistakes that kind of cost them a few cheap goals in the end.
Yeah.
And being
focused.
They kind
of lost focus a little
bit. Just being
bit
focused for all 4 quarters, because when you go play against Campo, what didn't work here, you're going to get scored on 5 times in a row. Before you know it, Campo's up 10-0. So that's why we always schedule these types of games this early, so that you can kind of get all that jitterbugs out, loosen up the cobwebs, and kind of just figure out like what type of team you are and what works, what doesn't. And these types of games are the perfect opportunity to do it.
So the Knights take care of business 14-6 here in the nightcap. The girls win it 12-6. The Knights sweep the Crosstown Broncos in the Battle of the Creek. And for Mark Katz, I'm Anthony Schultz for Walnut Creek TV. So long, everybody. Good night from Walnut Creek.